If you were to have dinner with Donald Trump and you could talk to him about one thing, the scariest thing that no one's talking about in this country right now, what would you say that would be to the president?
Nuclear war. That word has been bounced around so loosely. I remember the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. And I remember seeing a movie like Threads or seeing the day after and stuff like that, where nuclear war, I mean, come on. Nuclear war is not like a conventional war. One bomb can wipe out quite a lot of area and people. And people are just throwing that word around like it's nothing.
If you were sitting at dinner with Donald Trump and you could ask him to do one thing for the country, if there's one thing you'd like to see done, one issue that's most important, what would that be?
My son and myself both advocate. We are pageant title holders, and we advocate for child hunger and child illiteracy. Before COVID, 1 in 4 children, the only meal they got every day was at school. That is unfortunate. In Michigan, they're giving kids free lunch. Something needs to happen. Before we're helping all these other countries, I want to help. Don't get me wrong. We need to help and fix the issues right here. And our nation and our continued being strong as the United States starts with our young ones. And we need to teach them right from wrong. And if they're not eating, what are they going to grow up learning? That the world's a horrible place.
If you were to have dinner with President Trump, is there one issue that's most important to you?
There absolutely is. I would say that gun ownership is the number one issue, because without a sovereign people, without the militia, which all gun owners are, if you own a gun, you are the militia. The militia is, necessary for our security against foreign and domestic powers. It's not just that, it's, your own personal security. So,
do you feel it's threatened and that gun ownership is threatened now?
Absolutely. More than ever. I believe that, Biden's crown jewel of gun control is, what was it? The UN Small Arms Treaty, which would be the end of the Second Amendment. And that cannot happen. That cannot happen.
Do you think that there are Democrats or that the president is running for re-election on that issue, that getting rid of guns is what they want, or is it that they just want tighter control?
I do believe that Democrats absolutely want to abolish the Second Amendment or mostly, because it's instilled within what they're pushing, and most rhino, we call them, Republican in name only, who go along to get rich.
If you were to be able to have dinner with President Trump and sit down and say, Mr. President, I want you to deal with this first, what would that be?
China. I mean, BYD is getting ready to unleash electrics. I mean, it's like, if you've seen the number of cheap electrics they're going to dump on us, and you're dealing with a communist country, you're not dealing with private enterprise. So it's our private enterprise versus communist China-backed government-run businesses, and that's just not fair. I mean, we'll play fair, but they're not playing fair, and nobody's addressing it.
If you were to have dinner with Donald Trump and you could say one thing to him that you want to take care of, what would that thing be?
Tariff China, bring back manufacturing.
What was it that you liked about his presidency, the 4 years he was in office?
Well, let's see, tax breaks for corporations so they could grow, and job wages were up, poverty was down, less people on assistance, that was lowered. Manufacturing jobs he brought back. He brought the tariffs. It's tough on China, tough on NATO. People paying their own fair share, and he's going after all the corruption in D.C.
Man, I've been a supporter since day one, man. I've been to all the rallies. I just really like what he's doing for America, man, and we really need him back.
What specifically do you like that he's done?
Man, just everything, man. Our economy was so much better. Everything was so much better when he was in office. We need him back.